Well, here we are at the end of another year and beckoning in a brand new one. And I don't know about you, but I really have no idea where the year has gone. That's one of the reasons, though, why actually I think it's really important that at this time of year you take the time, you take a breath, and you actually give yourself the opportunity to properly review your year in business. Because the one thing we can guarantee in business, whether it's going well, whether it's driving us nuts, it's always teaching us lessons. It is always giving us ideas and inspiration and actually telling us about things that we should not keep doing, but it's constantly giving us lessons that will help us to evolve our business. But often I find that people think they don't have the time for this review, or they just don't quite know where to start. So today I want to give you a little bit of a framework that will help you undertake structured-ish but constructive review of your business over the last year. So the first thing I would suggest you do, and this is quite a big question, and there's two big questions that I would start with, and then we will narrow it down. But the biggest questions I would ask is, number one, what are the biggest differences between your business now and your business a year ago? Because actually what you'll find is you will have achieved a lot of things or developed a lot of things over the course of the year which you've actually forgotten that you've done. So if you sit and think about what was my business like 12 months ago versus now, that will give you some of those insights into what are the key changes and the key things that you have developed within that business in the year. And the second question, it's always an interesting question, this, because it's the one we were told as children we shouldn't ask, but absolutely we should. And it's, what are you most proud of in your business? Because what we should not do is hide our light under a bushel. We should not be humble about things we've achieved. We actually should shout about them. We should be proud of them. We should be giving ourselves a pat on the back for the wonderful things we've done. And actually, we should probably be using them in our marketing as well, and absolutely making sure that we keep doing more of this good stuff. So there's question number two. What are you most proud of achieving in your business this year? Then we get into slightly more nitty gritty. So you're looking to then break your business down into key headings or key categories for you, and dig into those in a little bit more detail. So here are some of the categories that you might think about. The obvious place to start is goals and targets. So did you set goals for the year? Did you achieve your goals for the year? Were they realistic? Were they unrealistic? Were they super ambitious? Actually, were they incredibly tame? Or were they at the right level for you? Did you set the right goals, or did you set the goals you thought you're supposed to have, but actually they weren't that inspiring anyway? So really look at the goals that you set, how well you've done at achieving them. And of course, then you can ask the questions about the why. Why did I do so well in that area? Why didn't I achieve that goal? What knocked me off track? What distracted me? That should then lead you into thinking about your general organisation and structure, because your daily, weekly, monthly plans are the things that have the massive influence about whether you actually achieve those goals. So you really want to think about regular structures and the organisation, the admin side of your business on a day-to-day basis, and ask yourself how well you did with that. What have you implemented that's really helped things to improve? What have you done at certain times in the year and then forgotten about at other times of the year, even though they were actually super helpful? So think about those general structures and your own organisational systems. Then look at things like your customers. What's the difference between your customers now and your customers 12 months ago? Have you elevated or advanced the type of customers that you work with? Are you now working with customers who are much more your sweet spot, where you're doing really great work? Or are you actually working with customers who are a bit dull or a bit boring, maybe don't appreciate you, maybe don't actually really want to pay what you know you should be charging? So really take a view on, who am I working with, how has that evolved, and is that evolving in the right direction? The crucial thing you're looking for in every one of these questions is, what's the lesson I can take? What is this teaching me about how I can evolve and improve my business next year? So then you can think about things like finances. How has that looked over the year? How does the performance in 2022 compare to 2021? Is it where you wanted it to be? What are the big factors that have influenced that? How consistent was it? Is it made up of the right kind of income and the right kind of sales of products and services? Think as well about your marketing. Obviously, this is a really key area to review. One of the most important questions you may well ask with your marketing is, how consistent was it? Because I'm sure we're all guilty at various times of being all excitable and everywhere with our marketing. Then things get busy and it drops off a bit of a cliff, and then we have to try and ramp up again. So consistency is really key. But ask yourself some quite challenging questions as well about the marketing that you have done. What has been effective? What has not been effective? Where have you spent either loads of time or loads of money and you have not generated the return that that time and money should have generated? What are you doing in your marketing that is not delivering results, but you're too frightened to actually cut off that marketing stream just in case it works one day? So ask yourself some tough questions on your marketing, because that's where a lot of time and effort and resource goes, and it's one of the biggest influences about how your business grows. Think as well about your products and services. Have you developed or evolved those? Are you really focused on the products and services that you want to be, or are you getting sidetracked by customers who want other things? And think about your systems. Think about all the momentum, the automation, the reminder systems, everything else that you've got in place in your business. What has improved this year? What's really helped you? What kind of systems have you dabbled with but actually you've let them slide? What kind of processes or templates have you used that you've forgotten that you should be using in the future? So I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm conscious I'm going a little bit long today, but that gives you a really nice structure to stop, reflect and review on how your year has gone. Remember, the crucial thing you're always looking for there is, what can I learn and how does this teach me to evolve and improve my business next year? I wish you all the very best for a phenomenal 2023. I'm hoping all of us have a peaceful, prosperous, calm year. And always, you know where I am. If you need some help with growing your business, just get in touch and I'd love to help you with that next year.